Okay, so good morning everyone. Hope you all are good and enjoying your studies. So now in the last video lecture, I said about endocrine glands, magic of hormones. We have discussed a lot about what is hormone, from where they are secreted. Then I said role of hypothalamus as an endocrine gland. Then I said about the pituitary, master gland of the body, pineal gland, thyroid gland, parathyroid gland, thymus. Then I said about the adrenal gland. So I completed these all. Now today what we are going to discuss? We are going to discuss one about pancreas. Second, we are going to discuss about the gonads. And third, there are some organs, those who are also secreting hormone. This is the third one. And after it, today's very important topic, that is the mechanism of hormone action. How they are working, it's very important to know. So that is the mechanism of hormone action. First of all, I will come on one heterocrine gland. Try to get the point. There are three types of glands. I said there are three types of gland. One is the ductless gland, which are also known as the endocrine gland. Second type of glands are known as the exocrine glands, those who are having the ducts. And the third type of glands are known as the composite gland. Composite glands are also known as the heterocrine gland. They are also known as the heterocrine gland. They are also known as the heterocrine gland. Heterocrine glands, they are also known as the mixed gland. Why they are known as the mixed gland? Because they are having both the parts. They are having the exocrine part as well as they are having the endocrine part. So this is the one, that is the heterocrine gland. Exocrine part is there and endocrine part is there. Endocrine part of pancreas, it is only 1 to 2% part of the pancreas is known as the endocrine, and remaining 98 to 99% part of the pancreas, that is known as the exocrine. So it is performing both the function. It is related with the synthesis and secretion of pancreatic enzymes, pancreatic juice, those who are coming to the duodenum through a duct, that is known as the pancreatic duct. In human beings, if you are remembering, it is known as the hepatopancreatic duct because it is getting connected with the duct of liver and gallbladder. So it is known as the hepatopancreatic duct. So exocrine part, it is related with the pancreatic juice. There is a duct that is known as the hepatopancreatic duct, and through the hepatopancreatic duct, the pancreatic juice is coming into the duodenum. So this is the first that we will discuss, already discussed in the digestive system. Now this topic, that is the endocrine part, it is included in this endocrine system. So just see. If I will say about the pancreas, so this is the TS of the pancreas. In the TS of the pancreas, these are the spherical structures. These spherical structures are known as the pancreatic acini. Pancreatic acini. They are the exocrine part. In between these pancreatic acinis, groups of cells are present. In between these pancreatic acinis, groups of cells are present. These groups of cells are known as the islets of Langerhans. They are known as the islets of Langerhans. Groups of cells are present. These are known as the islets of Langerhans. What is the percentage of endocrine part? 1 to 2%. It means what is the number of islets of Langerhans? 1 to 2 million. 1 to 2 million. Islets of Langerhans are present, and with the diagram I said, where the islets of Langerhans are present. Langerhans is the name of the scientist here. So it is present between the pancreatic acini. Pancreatic acini, exocrine part. Islets of Langerhans, this is the endocrine part. And this endocrine part is related with the synthesis and secretion of hormones. So islets of Langerhans is the endocrine part of the pancreas. This you have to keep in mind. So, which is the endocrine part of the pancreas? That is the islets of Langerhans. So, if they can ask the question like this: if there is any blockage, in the pancreatic duct, what is the impact on the secretion of pancreatic hormone? Anyone will give the reply. If there is blockage in the pancreatic duct, then what is the impact on the secretion of hormones? Answer is no impact. Why? Because the pancreatic duct is related with the secretion of pancreatic juice. It is carrying the pancreatic juice from liver and gallbladder, and we can say bile juice from the liver to the duodenum. This endocrine part is the islets of Langerhans. They are secreting hormones, and one thing you have to keep in mind, that hormones are secreted directly into the venous blood. Hormones are secreted directly into the venous blood. So, for the secretion of hormones, no duct is required. So, if there is any blockage in the pancreatic duct, what is the impact on the secretion of hormones? No impact, because pancreas is having the two parts. So, this is the one part I said, that islets of Langerhans is there, and islets of Langerhans, it is the endocrine part of the pancreas. Now, islets of Langerhans means, I said, groups of cells. Basically, there are 5 types of cells which you have to remember: alpha, beta, gamma, delta, and PP cells are there. Pancreatic peptide cells are there. But in NCERT, they said only about the 2 types of cells. So, I will also say about the 2 types of cells. One is the alpha cell and one is the beta cell. So, 2 types of cells are present in the pancreas. Basically, there are 5 types of cells, but as per on your level, you have to remember only 2 types of cell. One is the alpha cell, one is the beta. Now, alpha cells and beta cells are there. This is very important. Alpha cells and beta cells are there. Alpha cells related with the synthesis and secretion of a hormone, glucagon, and beta cells is related with the synthesis and secretion of a hormone, which is well known by each and everyone, because there is a very common disease, that is the diabetes. I think ever you have listened this term, diabetes. In one family or 2 families, there is one person having the diabetes. Nowadays, the percentage of diabetes increases because person's lifestyle is getting changed. Okay, eat a lot, do nothing. Okay, so diabetes will come now. So, now alpha cells secreting the glucagon, beta cells secreting the insulin, and I think this is the most famous hormone here. So, insulin, I think it is known by you now. Diabetic patients are taking the injections of insulin before the food. Why they are taking the injections of insulin before the food? Because in that people the glucose level is very high. In that people the glucose level is very high. So, reduce to normalize the glucose level, there is a need of hormone that is known as the insulin. It means what the insulin is doing. Ever you thought, every time we are saying that diabetes people are taking the injection of insulin, but why? Why? Because the insulin hormone decreasing the blood glucose level. It means it is decreasing the glucose level of the blood. It means it is the hypoglycemic hormone. Hypoglycemic hormone. Hypo means less, glycemia means glucose. It is decreasing the blood glucose level. There is one question coming in my mind. Will you help me? Okay, reply in the reply box, comment. Say me, why we are taking the insulin injection before the food? Not during the food, not after the food. Okay, try to get the answer of this question. Why we are taking the injection of insulin before the food? Not during the food, not after the food. Because when we are taking antibiotics, we used to say take after the food. But why we are taking the insulin injection before the food? So, reply in the comments why we are taking the insulin injection before the food. Definitely, I will reply if you will reply me. Okay, so this is the hypoglycemic hormone. and this one is hyperglycemic hormone. I said one is increasing the blood glucose level, one is decreasing the blood glucose level. Getting? One is going to Visakhapatnam, one is going to Hyderabad. Just opposite direction. It means there is a term. Are you remembering that term? Antagonistic. Antagonistic. Antagonistic means opposite in function. Antagonistic, opposite in function. Insulin decreasing the blood glucose level by increasing the utilization of the glucose, and the second one, that is the glucagon, it is increasing the blood glucose level by reducing the intake. So this is the one point that you have to remember. I said insulin is hypoglycemic hormone. Insulin is hypoglycemic hormone. So this you have to remember. This you have to remember. I said hyperglycemic. Said or not said? Hyperglycemic means the glucagon increasing the blood glucose level. So it is the hyperglycemic hormone. Just see, glucagon is a hyperglycemic hormone. What about the insulin? Insulin is the hypoglycemic hormone. I already explained about the insulin and the glucagon. See, diabetic patient, only one treatment, insulin injection. So this is the one point that you have to remember related with the insulin. After the pancreas, please read pancreas in a very good manner, because in NEET exam they are asking the question related with pancreas, because it's a part of endocrine system and the digestive system. Now coming on again, more important, testis. There is a term that is known as the gonads. Gonads. Gonads including two. One, that is the ovary in females, and second one, that is the testis in males. You know this symbol? Okay. So testis in male and ovary in female. Both are also composite gland. Why? Because the basic function of the testis, known by you, basic function of the testis is the synthesis of male gamete, sperm. Basic function of ovary is the synthesis of female gamete, ovum. They are related with the synthesis of sperm and ovum. So it is their basic function. What is the secondary function? Synthesis of hormone. Testis secreting one group of hormone that is known as the testosterone. Group of hormone, andro. Andro means male. Andro means male. And the most important hormone is the testosterone. Are you remembering the TS of the testis? See, in the TS of the testis, these are the seminiferous tubules. SFT, seminiferous tubules. What is the function of seminiferous tubule? The function of seminiferous tubule is the formation of male gamete, sperm. In between these seminiferous tubules, groups of cells are present, and these groups of cells are known as the interstitial cells. Interstitial cells they are also known as the cells of Leydig. Interstitial cells they are also known as the cells of Leydig. Interstitial cells are cells of Leydig. So this is one very important point. Who is related with the synthesis and secretion of androgens? And the most important androgen is the testosterone. So what is the answer? It is the interstitial cells or cells of Leydig. It is the interstitial cells or cells of Leydig. And what is the function of testosterone, androgen? That is the formation of, it stimulates the process of spermatogenesis. Spermatogenesis. Genesis means formation. Whose formation? Formation of sperm. So it is the spermatogenesis. Process of formation of sperm is known as the spermatogenesis. This hormone is very important for the sexual desire in male. That is known as the libido. Whether it is a male, whether it is a female, both are having the sexual desire due to the presence of the hormones. Okay, due to the presence of the hormone, both male and female, they are having the sexual desire. So, in males, the sexual desire is due to presence of a hormone, libido. So, here one point you have to remember. Do you know the difference between ox and bull? Ox and bull. Bull always ready to fight. Ox, they are docile. Do you know this difference? What is the difference between bull and ox? Why the ox is more aggressive? Why the bull is more aggressive and why the ox is docile? Because in ox, when they are converting bull into the ox, they are castrating, they are destroying their testes. So, when there is destruction of testes, there is no testosterone. And when there is no testosterone, we can say that there is no aggressiveness. Aggressiveness in males is due to presence of the testosterone. Otherwise, the Purush will be Mahapurush. Are you getting my language? So, this is the hormone which is responsible for the sexual desire. Bulls having the testes, secretion of testosterone. Ox, no aggression. Simply. So, this is the one point that you have to remember related with the testosterone. Now, so I already said testis in males and ovary in females, they are related with the production of gametes. Their basic function is the production of gametes and they are performing the secondary function, that is the secretion of hormones. So, in ovary, their basic function is the formation of male gamete, that is the ovum. Are you remembering? Graafian follicle is there. Well-developed ovarian follicle is known as the Graafian follicle. And they are secreting one hormone, that is the estrogen. There is a process that is known as the ovulation. What is ovulation? Process of release of ovum from ovary. After the ovulation, the Graafian follicle is converted into the corpus luteum. And corpus luteum is secreting a hormone that is known as the progesterone. So, there are two important hormones related with the ovary. One hormone, that is the estrogen. One hormone, that is the progesterone. And progesterone hormone, one point, remember I will compare testosterone with the estrogen. In male, who is responsible for the development of secondary sexual characters? Testosterone. In female, who is responsible for the development of secondary sexual character? Estrogen. We used to say na age increasing. So, just it is the magic of hormone. Have you seen the last YouTube video mine that I have written the heading Endocrine Glands Magics of Hormone. We are doing nothing. All thing is done by the secretion of hormones. So, it is the magic of the hormone. They are responsible for the development of secondary sexual character. Now, coming on one very important hormone that is known as the progesterone. So, progesterone hormone is very important. And what is the function of progesterone? Progesterone, you have to remember one very important point. It is known as the progesterone. Progesterone maintains the pregnancy. Progesterone, it maintains the pregnancy. It is known as the pregnancy hormone. Progesterone maintains the pregnancy. It is known as the pregnancy hormone. Sometimes at the time of pregnancy, there is less secretion of progesterone by females. So, we are giving the artificially injection of the progesterone to maintain the pregnancy. Okay, this all related with the human beings. So, that is why you have to keep in mind. Human physiology means study about ourselves. We are discussing about ourselves. You will also pass this age of the life. So, this you have to keep in mind. Progesterone, it maintains the pregnancy. So, this is the one. It is known as the pregnancy hormone. So, if there is very less secretion of progesterone, it will cause the abortion. That is why the progesterone is also known as the anti-abortion hormone. Are you getting? Progesterone is also known as the anti-abortion hormone. So this is the one point I said. Till time I said hormones of the pancreas, insulin, glucagon. Insulin, glucagon are antagonistic. Insulin is hypoglycemic, glucagon is hyperglycemic. Then I said about the testis, said na, cells of Leydig interstitial cell, they are secreting androgens, and the most important androgen is the testosterone. Then I said about the hormones of the ovary, estrogen and progesterone. Try to remember one name, estrogen, progesterone. Progesterone I said, what is the name of the hormone? Pregnancy hormone. So it will help you to remember about the theory. Now, we are having so many structures in our body. Their basic function is different. Heart. Basic function of heart we have discussed in cardiac cycle. Kidney related with the heart is related with the pumping of blood. Kidney is related with the formation of urine. Gastrointestinal tract is related with the, anyone will say, with the digestion of food, absorption of food. But they are secreting some hormones also. That is by having hormones of heart, kidney, gastrointestinal tract. So first I will say there is heart. So heart is secreting one hormone that is known as the ENF. Please see towards the board, ENF. Atrial natriuretic factor. Try to get the meaning. In zoology, every term is having its meaning. Atrial. Atrial means it is secreted from the atria cells of the heart. Natriuretic. Natri means sodium. Uretic means in urine. Natriuretic factor. It is increasing the flow of sodium with urine. It is increasing the flow of sodium with urine. And you know, sodium is very important. Sodium increasing the reabsorption of water. Getting? So, what is the function of ENF? It is decreasing the blood pressure by reducing the amount of concentration of sodium. More sodium, more water absorption. Ever you thought why we used to say hypertensive person, they have to take the salt restricted diet? We used to say na, if there is a person having the high blood pressure, salt diet should be less. Why? Salt means sodium. Sodium means it will increase the absorption of water. Already the blood pressure is more, and again reabsorption of water, it will cause the damage na. It means sodium, by removing the sodium with urine, it is decreasing the reabsorption of water. When there is less reabsorption of water, the blood pressure will decrease. Are you getting the mechanism? So this one is the ENF. I said atrial natriuretic factor, and it is reducing the blood pressure. It is decreasing the blood pressure. Now, kidney. Kidney also related basic function of kidney, synthesis of urine na, synthesis of urea, function of liver, synthesis of urine, function of kidney. Please do not get confused, because we are the ureotelic. Ureotelic means we are releasing the urea. Synthesis of urea, liver. Synthesis of urine, kidney. So kidney is having the nephron. And some nephrons, they are having a specific arrangement. That specific arrangement is known as the JGA. JGA. Juxta glomerular apparatus. JGA. And this JGA secreting one hormone that is known as the renin. R-E-N-I-N, that is renin from the liver. Here that is one hormone that is known as the REF. REF means renal. renal, erythropoietin, renal erythropoietin hormone. Renal erythropoietin hormone. See, renal means it is secreted from kidney. Erythro means RBCs. Erythro means RBCs. Poiesis means synthesis. This hormone is related with the synthesis of RBC. That is why it is known as the REF, renal erythropoietin factor. Renal erythropoietin factor. Renal erythropoietin factor is secreted from JG apparatus and it is responsible for the synthesis of hormone. Here first I have written about the renin, then I cut it because I will say it's a part of excretory system. Renin, it also having a control on blood pressure and blood volume through a cycle, through a system that is known as the ROS. What is ROS? ROS is the renin, angiotensin, aldosterone system. Aldosterone system. This we have completed in the previous topic, that is the excretory system. That's why I have written on the second number. It is also correct that it is secreted, but first I will give preference to this one because this is new for you. So REF, renal erythropoietin factor. Please listen. In endocrine system, always try to remember one term about the hormone. REF, renal erythropoietin factor. It is secreted from kidney, renal. Erythro means RBCs. Poiesis means synthesis. This hormone stimulates the synthesis of RBC. That is why the name of the hormone is the REF. And when we will discuss again that ROS, renin, angiotensin, aldosterone system. This is another system which is having a control on the blood pressure and blood volume. So this is the one point that you have to remember. Then again, gastrointestinal tract, it is secreting a lot of hormone. Gastrin, secretin, CCK, cholecystokinin. What is CCK? Cholecystokinin. Cholecystokinin. Chole term is used for the gallbladder. This you have to keep in mind. Cholelithiasis is stone formation in the gallbladder. Cholecystectomy, removal of the gallbladder. GIP, what is GIP? Gastric inhibitory polypeptide. So always in NCERT, although they have not given the full form, but always try to get the full form, because with the help of full form, you are able to remember their function. Here, I said gastric inhibitory polypeptide. It is a polypeptide means made up of proteins. Inhibitory means inhibition of, gastric means stomach. It is inhibiting the activities of the stomach. That is why the name is the gastric inhibitory polypeptide. So this is the one point that you have to remember. Always we are trying to know how our body is working. Hormones are secreted in minute amount. They are non-nutrient, they are not producing energy, they are required in very small amount. How they are working, how they are reaching each and every cell of the body, it's a big interesting point. So now we are coming on the mechanism of hormone action. So all the hormones, they are working with the help of receptors. Like it's a cell, and the hormone has to work on this cell. So either it is having a receptor outside the cell, or it is having a receptor inside the cell. So when the receptor is present outside the cell, it is known as the extracellular receptor. When the receptor present inside the cell, it is known as the intracellular receptor. This is the extracellular receptor. This is the intracellular receptor. Try to imagine this cell is the marriage hall. So sometimes the main person of that marriage means father or mother. They are standing outside the gate to welcome all the people. So whenever you are meeting them, you are saying something, and then only they are showing, please go for the dinner or lunch or anything. This is the one thing. Sometime like you went to a marriage, there is no one on the gate. So directly you will enter in the marriage hall. Two conditions are there now. In one condition, a person is standing to welcome you on the outside. In one condition, a person is inside to welcome you. But person is there now. Simply hormones, they are not working directly. First, they will meet either with the extracellular receptor or they will meet with the intracellular receptor. It means this is the receptor. It means very important term, that is the hormone receptor complex. Hormone receptor complex. First of all, the hormone will come either in contact with the extracellular receptor or in contact with the intracellular receptor. It means they will not work directly. Always they are working through the receptors. Are you getting now? So this is the one very important point, and all the receptors, they are made up of specific proteins. All the receptors, they are made up of proteins. So this is the one point, and always try to remember, all the receptor, one receptor is specific for one hormone. Like I am the manager of one person, I will work for that person now. I am working at Sri Chaitanya. It means I will teach only to the student of Sri Chaitanya na. It will not happen today I am teaching here, tomorrow I will teach there. That is why it is the beauty of Sri Chaitanya, all the faculties are permanent. So when you will come here, you will get a stable environment. Okay, so we are not jumping from here to there. So this is the one point, hormone receptor complex is there. So this is the one very important point, hormone receptors complex is there. Now, there are so many hormones which are secreted in our body. Chemically, means on the basis of chemical structure, all are classified into two groups. Okay, basically in NCERT they have given 4 groups, but I will say there are only 2 groups of hormone: lipid soluble, lipid insoluble. Try to get my concept, what I want to say. Only there are 2 types of hormone: lipid soluble hormone, lipid insoluble hormone. Lipid soluble hormone means those who can cross the cell membrane, because cell membrane is having the lipid. Lipid insoluble means they are the water soluble. Are you getting? They cannot cross the cell membrane. So now you are able to give the answer. The hormones, those who are lipid soluble, they will directly enter the cell. Hormones, those who are lipid soluble, they will directly enter the cell. They will work through the intracellular receptor. Whereas the hormones, those who are not lipid soluble, they are water soluble, they will work with the extracellular receptor. Are you getting? So they are all the hormones classified into 2: lipid soluble, water soluble. For water soluble, I used another term, lipid insoluble. Lipid insoluble means water soluble. So basically there are 2 types of hormones on the basis of their function, but try to get. In NCERT they have given 4 types of hormones: peptide, polypeptide, protein. What are their example? Insulin, glucagon, pituitary hormones. Hypothalamus, we have discussed about all. Steroid hormone, cortisol, testosterone, estradiol, progesterone. All the hormones which are secreted by the adrenal cortex are steroid in nature. Most of the gonadal hormones are steroid in nature. This is the one. Iodothyronine, it means here iodine plus tyrosine. This is another group. Amino acid derivatives like epinephrine and that is the norepinephrine. So on the basis of chemical composition, there are 3 types of. I have divided these hormones into 2: water soluble and lipid soluble. So here I will give the example. Just see, there are two groups of hormone. One, those who are working through the second messenger. Very important, very interesting. First messenger, hormones are known as the first messenger. Second messenger, whenever there is combination of hormone with the extracellular receptors, those who are present on the membrane, there is generation of the second messenger. Cyclic AMP. AMP means adenosine monophosphate, calcium ions. These are the, and IP3. AMP, you know, IP3 here, inositol triphosphate. Okay, that is the IP3 triphosphate. Three phosphates are there now. Triphosphate. So that is the IP3 and calcium ions. They are working. They just again I will say how many types of messengers are there? Two. First messenger, second messenger. Who is considered as the first messenger? Hormones. Who is considered as the second messenger? Those who are generated after the combination, after the formation of hormone receptor complex. Hormone receptor complex, it is basically lipid insoluble or water soluble hormone. And what are the second messenger? Three. You have to remember cyclic AMP. There are so many, but in NCERT 3 given, so I am focusing on 3. Cyclic AMP, adenosine monophosphate, IP3, inositol triphosphate, and calcium ion. Adrenal cyclase. This is the one enzyme. Whenever the hormone is coming in contact with its extracellular receptor or membrane receptor, this adrenal cyclase enzyme, it is converting ATP into the cyclic AMP. CAMP. You have to write CAMP, cyclic adenosine monophosphate. Okay, so this is the one point that you have to remember. Second group of hormone, they are the water insoluble or lipid soluble, steroid hormone and iodothyronine hormone. So now again I will come here. Say me, there are 4 groups of hormone given in NCERT. How many are working through the fixed receptor, membrane bound receptor or extracellular receptor, and how many will work through the intracellular receptor, mobile receptor? So see, this is one, that is extracellular receptor. This is one, that is the intracellular receptor. This is one, that is the intracellular. This is one, that is the extracellular. 1 and 4, 2 and 3 are same on the basis of function. So always keep in mind 1, 4, 2, 3. Okay, 1, 4, 2, 3. This is the one point. Like, you know, na, if 4 teams are entering into the semi-final, na, always the first is playing with the fourth and second is playing with the third. Na. It is the rule. Na. So 1 and 4, they are working through the extracellular, and 2 and 3, they are working through the intracellular. So see, now I will come again on one presentation given in NCERT. FSH, follicular stimulating hormone. Follicular stimulating hormone. It is a hormone which is secreted from the pituitary gland. Are you getting? It is a glycoprotein. Proteinous hormone. Glycoproteinous hormone means what is the category? You will say first category. First category hormone, they are not working directly. They are always working through the receptor which are present on the cell membrane. So when the hormone will come, there is generation of the second messenger. What is the name of the second messenger? Cyclic adenosine monophosphate or calcium ion, and it will produce the biochemical response. Are you getting this point? So this is the one example given in NCERT. They have given with the help of FSH, pituitary hormone. But basic thing you have to remember, this is the types of hormone. Only by learning this you are able to reply what is the mechanism of function. Another one, they have given one hormone, estrogen. I already said estrogen is a hormone from ovary. All hormones secreted from, maximum hormones secreted from gonads, they are steroid in nature. And steroid hormone, they are working through the intracellular receptor. They are working at the level of gene and they are producing their effects. So, if you want to remember it, you have to remember this classification of hormone. Without remembering this classification of hormone, you are not able to give the answer of any question. So, this is the one point, and I said this point is very important. So, we will discuss few questions related with the mechanism of hormonal action. When we will come to our campus, we will discuss these all questions in detail, but today I am focusing mainly on the mechanism of hormonal action, because this topic is very interesting and important. Not only interesting, important for NEET. So, I will say a few questions. Hormone receptor on the target tissue are made up of. When I said about the hormone receptor complex, I said they are made up of protein. And one very interesting thing, I have taken the answer from NCERT, because from many years all the questions in zoology, they are coming only from NCERT. That is why you have to follow line by line the NCERT. Previously in our time when I started teaching, we used to teach a lot, because at that time there were no national level exam. National level means, I want to say, so many exams was there, state PMTs, AIPMT, EMS, but now there is only one exam. Okay, so now they are focusing on one book, that is the NCERT. So here proteins. So this is the one. See, in the mechanism of action of protein hormone, who is the second messenger? I said how many second messenger? 3. What are the second messenger? CAMP 1, IP3 second, calcium ion third. So what is given here? CAMP given na? Again question from NCERT. So this way you have to remember. Now, how does steroid hormone influence the cellular activity? This question came in NEET 2019. How it is affecting the cellular activity? So, say me first, steroid hormone means they are water soluble or lipid soluble? They are lipid soluble. They will directly enter into the cell. They will bind with the intracellular receptor. They will reach at the cellular level and they will affect the gene action. So, see, by binding to DNA and forming a gene hormone complex. So, this is the one. Now, say, very interesting question I formed. Remember all these questions, those who are observing here, I am not copied except it came in the NEET. Okay, these all are the brainchild question. In the given hormone, how many interact through intracellular receptor? Intracellular receptor means I want to say how many are lipid soluble hormone. Getting? So, see, estrogen, intracellular receptor, progesterone, intracellular receptor. All the hormones of adrenal cortex are steroid in nature, intracellular receptor. Insulin, what is the answer? Insulin, that is the protein hormone. Thyroxine, thyroxine means this is the T4. Tetrahydrothyroid, that is the thyroxine, it is made up of iodine plus tyrosine, it is the iodothyronine. So, just see, lipid soluble hormone, except lipid, insulin, all are lipid soluble. So, how many? 1, 2, 3 and 4. They will work through the intracellular and one will work through the extracellular. So, this is the way of question I said that you have to remember in for the exam. So many questions are there that we have to discuss, like which of the following is not involved in second messenger? So, I said na, what are the second messenger? What are the second messenger? Second messenger in calcium ion mediated. If there is calcium ion mediated activity is there, then there is, again this is not given in NCERT, so I am leaving this question, leave it because it is not needed. So, now we have discussed so many questions related with positive feedback mechanism, negative feedback mechanism, so many things are there that we have to discuss. So, now thank you very much for peaceful listening. Proud member of Sri Chaitanya Gosala campus. I am working here from last more than 7 years. So, just this is our Telegram channel. Join our Telegram channel for daily quiz, for schedule, for session notes, for assignment and many more. So, for new session, you are welcome. New session is going to start in the May, June. So, you are welcome in our campus. I will be there to welcome you. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much. We will meet again soon with a new video. Thank you.